What's up, everyone? I am so excited for our topic for today because this has been requested by you guys and this is so close to my heart. And I can go on and on and on for hours talking about this. But we don't have that much time, so let's get right into it.
Hey Julian, what's up?
Hey, what's up? Come on in.
Thank you. Thanks God I found you, Julian. I've been wanting to ask you this question. What is investing? Because I keep on seeing and reading news about it and I still don't know what it is. So what is investing?
Oh, thanks for that question. Okay, so in my personal definition of investing, for me it means acquiring assets that has the potential of generating profits in the future.
That sounds interesting. So I really need to invest, right?
Yes, certainly. So let's look at this for example. I believe that investing is important because it is one of the ways that we can do to balance things out. And what do I mean by this? Take this for example. If people want to achieve their dreams, the lifestyle that they want to achieve a certain income level, most people, sorry, but really, most people won't get this through employment. So they would rather go for a business. But here's the thing. In my personal belief, I believe that business is not for everyone, but investments can be.
From your experience, Julian, what are the benefits of having an investment?
Okay, good question. I can name a few benefits of investing, okay, or having investments. First one is, I believe it is so important because, as I've mentioned earlier, it levels the playing field. And what does that mean? Well, most of us aren't really born rich, right? So there are people who are born rich. They are born with the silver platter, meaning even if they don't work, they cannot work, they choose not to work, something is going to be handed down to them. And because of this, they are already in a different income level, so to speak. But if you are born just like me, that we are born in the middle class, and let's say our parents or our families are not into business, then we are slightly in a disadvantage when it comes to having the time freedom and the money freedom. Now, the good thing about investing is that even if we are not that rich, by acquiring the discipline, the skills, the talents, and the mechanics to do it, we can somehow elevate our status in a different level. Well, let me get this straight. We probably, despite our efforts, we probably will not get to that level wherein we are the same as the ones who own buildings and hospitals and malls, but at least we will drastically level up from our current status. At least we can be at par with those who are amazing professionals or even at the size of mid-level entrepreneurs or mid-sized entrepreneurs.
So what are the other benefits?
Okay, so talking about other benefits, I believe that investing also is very important because it is something that we can pass to the next generation. And what do I mean by this? So take for example, employment. Okay, picture this. You are at the executive level. You've been in the vice president or even the president or even the CEO level. But here's the thing, you're still an employee. Okay, nothing wrong with that. But here's the question. After working for the past 40 years, after giving your best, giving it your all, despite that, even if you're sick, you still go to the office, you still work, right? So you've reached this level of respect and then income and maturity and all that. But here's the thing, After your retirement, can you tell the owner of the company, or can you tell your boss, boss, I've sacrificed my whole life for this. Can I pass it on to my kid? What do you think will they say?
Definitely not. That's
Exactly.
not possible.
Exactly. Definitely not. It's not possible. Even if you really gave it your all, you cannot pass it to your next generation or your kids, right? Now, let's use a different example. What if you are a professional? Okay, you're the best doctor, the best lawyer, accountant, architect, engineer, name it. You are the best in your field. But same example, if you reach a point wherein you want to retire, you want to enjoy life, you want to travel, you want to spend time with your kids. Now, can your business run the same way, or it is something that you still cannot pass on to your kids? What do you think? Can you pass your skill? Even if, okay, I'm the best surgeon right here. I can even cut a person and then heal it all back even if my eyes are closed. Let's just say you are at that level of you are that expert. But can you pass that same skill to your kids?
Nope.
Nope, exactly. If you cannot pass on that same skill, let's be honest with this, your kids will not earn the same way that you are earning right now. Because again, it is heavily reliant on your profession, on your skills, on your talents, on you, basically. So it's something that you cannot pass on to them. So we covered the employments or the employees. We also covered the professional. Now let's go on to business. Now, some of you will be saying, okay, Julian, a business is something that I can pass on to my kids. Correct. But there's a but here. But if you really look at it, yes, you can pass on the whole business to your kids, but still the treatment will be not the same. What do I mean by that? Even if you pass on your business, imagine this, your suppliers, I may be wrong with this, but most of the things that I see is this. Even if they pass it on, the suppliers will not treat your kids the same way. They will not give you the same level of confidence. They will not order the same quantities. They will not give you the same prices because it's not you anymore. It's your kids. It's, sorry about this, but this is what's happening in real life. And how do I know this? Because I was once in business and I still am in business. At one point, it's something which is, it's so huge. At one point, I was handling 97, 98 people, including myself, different motivations, different excuses, there are a lot of different factors. And I'm not excluding myself. I also had excuses back then. And on top of that, you need to motivate, to empower a lot of people that are working indirectly with you, like the guards, the building, the janitors, even your suppliers, the people that you work with, your clients. And it's so big. Business is so big, but again, it's something that is not easily passable to your next generations. And that is the reason why I said earlier that a business may not be for everyone, but investments can be. And why did I say that? Because an investment is something that you can directly pass on to your next of kin, your children or your relatives, whoever you want to pass it on to. Let's say you bought shares of stocks. It's something that easily is transferable. If you bought properties, you can just pass it on to them. It's so easy nowadays. That is why I see it as something which is very beneficial and beautiful.
Now I'm getting your point, Julian. So,
thank you.
What advice can you give for those people who are afraid of entering this world of investment because they think like it's a scam? What advice can you give to them?
Okay, that's a good one. So, let's face it, it's not all get rich quick. These things are not happening. If you are offered very high rates or whatever, it's of course these things are scam, right? So my advice is, number one, you need to study. You need to study the market. You need to study where you're putting your money in. You need to study yourself if you can handle the risk, if your capital can do it. There's a lot of things actually. So if you want, and for you guys who are listening, if you want me to talk about how to avoid being scammed, we can talk about this in another video. I remembered one more thing. Since we're talking about the benefits of investing, one of the things that I can consider as a benefit is that investing also beats inflation.
What do you mean by inflation?
Oh, good question. Inflation means it is the rise of normal goods in the market. Meaning, every given year, the price of the things that we usually purchase goes up, right? Like the utilities, like food, like rice, everything. So it rises at a certain level, and that is what you call inflation. Well, anyway, in my book, I mentioned there that there are two types of inflation. There is an economic inflation and there is a personal inflation. Anyway, going back just to the topic of investing. For me, it is really good. Investing is really good because it has the potential to beat inflation. So picture this. What if every year the prices of normal goods rises up to about 5% per year? Meaning, right now, if you are buying rice or noodles, let's say 1 kilo of rice is like, let's say, $1. Next year, you need $1.05 just to buy that same rice. In our currency, if you're talking about the peso, let's say rice is worth 50 pesos. If inflation is 5%, next year, you need at least 52.5 pesos just to buy that same amount of rice. Nothing added to it, no improvements in quality, just the same rice. Next year, it will be that price. 2 years from now, it could be like anywhere between 55 to 57 pesos for that same amount of rice. And I'm just talking about rice. What if we're talking about other foods like vegetables or meat or gasoline, or this is all part of inflation. Now, the good thing about investing is that it has the big potential of beating this inflation. Meaning, if this is your money right now, with inflation, it's gonna go up a little bit. So this is the prices that you need to pay next year just to enjoy the same goods right now. If you invest, it will go up to this one. So it automatically beats inflation. Now, it is so important for me because think about this. If you are not investing, then you are losing money. You are losing your purchasing power. Now, picture this. You work so hard, you barely rest, you don't even get 8 hours of sleep per day, but your money is sleeping because it is not growing. Meaning, kung ikaw, hindi ka ba manghihinayang na sobrang dami mong effort, pagod na binubuhos, tapos nagpapakahirap ka para kumayod at magtrabaho? Samantalang ikaw, kulang sa tulog, pero yung pera mo tulog na tulog lang. Imagine the effort that you are putting in. Imagine working for 10 years, 20, 30, 40 years of your lives, and then your money is not growing. But the normal prices are just keep on rising up. So you will reach a point wherein you are not moving forward, you are moving backward. Because you are not even at the bare minimum, you should be at least level. But as it seems, you're not. So in reality, you are losing your precious, hard-earned money. And one last thing that I can think of right now as a benefit of investing is that it could be a tool that can reach your financial goals. Serial investor and one of the richest man on the planet, his name is Warren Buffett. He once said that if you cannot find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And I believe that this is true as well. I hope that it's not true, but it is true. Meaning, if you only have one source of income and then it gets cut, you're dead. Okay? So, like in this current situation that we are in a COVID situation, a pandemic, a lockdown. Some people rely on their employment. And despite holding high positions or high ranks, and despite being in a very prestigious and a global company, let's face it, these companies and organizations are also affected. So they probably cannot pay you as much. But the worst thing that can happen is you lose your job, right? So if you lose your job and it's the only income source that you have, what's next for you? Right? It's kind of a hard, difficult scenario or a position to be in, right? Now, same thing. If you are, let's say you just have one income source. Let's say you're into the travel business, okay? Even if you own the business, but still, if this is your only income stream and people obviously cannot travel, you're dead, right? Same goes on in your profession. If you are probably an expert doctor, you've been in the industry for 30 years plus, then all of a sudden you cannot work because either the patients don't want to visit you or it's so strict to go to you, or for whatever reason they don't need your services. Then again, you are cut even if you are the best in your industry. So that's what I mean by investing, because investing is that tool to help you leverage. It is your safeguard. It can also be your tool to reach your financial dreams and your financial goals. So all of these things that I've mentioned, I told you at the start of this video that I can go on and on for hours talking about this, but at least these are the basics that I can say are the benefits of investing.
But I'm curious, Julian, how can I start investing?
Okay, good question again. So before we start investing, we need to have the proper mindset for it. I keep on saying mindset, and you'll probably be hearing this a lot of times, but it is that important. You need to have the proper mindset first. You also need to develop the winning habits, meaning that includes the discipline, the emotional control, everything. And of course, you need to be continuously growing, and that includes learning, studying, building that skill, that muscle. And that will help if you have a supportive environment. But aside from that, you also have to consider that investing is, in my book, I've mentioned this, that investing is just one of the 4 pillars of a stable financial portfolio. And I can explain this through what I call the bed. Okay, so if you are interested to know more about this, type in the comment section below, type bed, as in B-E-D, bed. Okay, so I think that's so much right now. Do you have any other questions?
That's a lot of information, Julian. Thank you so much, but I need to go.
You're welcome.
See you around.
Okay, so you're welcome, and thank you for asking those questions. I really appreciate this, because and for you guys right here, if you can think of any topics or anything that you want us to talk about, just comment it below, because I am here to help, because I believe that all of us, we only have one life to live, so we should make it count.